Sticking with this format, I'm going to go ahead and do my Marvel versus DC. For a change, I haven't done that in a couple weeks. Let's just go ahead and do the two that they used to have back in the old days facing off against each other. We'll do Teen Titans number 32, and we'll do Uncanny X-Men number 22. So I'm just going to do my three-parters, keep it as simple as possible, so that the battle is as easily done as possible. So what I'll first talk about is the people involved, second, a synopsis of the story, third, what I think of the story, so that you understand what I'm doing, so people can understand so they can fathom this wonderful thing. The people who worked on Teen Titans were Bernard Chang, who I'm a huge fan of, used to work on, back in the 1990s, the olden days, his first work was on Valiant's Dr. Mirage, or his first creation. He created Dr. Mirage. Great character, big fan. And Adam Glass did the writing. Not a huge fan of Adam Glass's writing, but that's okay. It's a fine story. I did read some Suicide Squads by him a couple years back. The new 52 version. At some point it was by him. Anyway, moving right along, we had Lobo's daughter battling with Lobo in this issue. It's awesome to see Lobo back. Makes me just nostalgic for Lobo. Just makes me want to read some Lobo, man. Sorry, guys. That's really what happens at that point, is I just want to read some Lobo. So they got some interesting enough characters. Hopefully they'll actually have some outcome to the prison thing that was going on that Robin had made in a couple issues back. That's the synopsis for that story. Now we'll move on to Uncanny X-Men. We had Matthew Rosenberg and Salvador Larroca, as well as some other fill-in guy for a couple pages. Maybe, I don't remember who, it doesn't really matter. It wasn't the best fill-in pages, but Matthew Rosenberg is known for being a writer who worked over at, I believe, Black Mask Studios. I'll have some nice stuff coming in, by the way, in the mail pretty soon, so I got to tide you over with some mainstream stuff right now. I apologize. This is my second version of the video. I'd actually recorded a first version, so I just went ahead and re-recorded it. I'm trying to do a good job here, and I'm trying to make sure to cover my bases. But Salvador Larroca is basically a classic X-Men artist, and he does a nice job on the artwork. And it was cool to see in this issue the other X-Men return, and also it was kind of like the death of Havoc, the brother of Cyclops. So we got like Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, all those characters come back. It's pretty good, pretty interesting, and I believe it is the last issue of Uncanny X-Men. So moving right along, we're going to go ahead and see who did I think won, first of all, out of the creative teams. Well, out of writers, out of the two who won, Rosenberg won. I think that they ended that pretty well. Although they ended the other one fine because it was a two-parter of Lobo's story was. I felt like Rosenberg has been doing a pretty good job. Can't hate on that. And out of Bernard Chang and Salvador Larroca. Now that's the weirdest thing, because I've always loved Salvador Larroca, but I feel like Bernard Chang is a little better. So he ends up winning on there. So we got a one-on-one here so far. Out of the synopsises, basically Lobo's daughter battling with Lobo, the whole thing, and so a lot of plot threads dangling to do with that prison type ordeal, versus the very end of the X-Men story, then Emma Frost facing off against the ONE leader guy. Well, obviously that's a win for the X-Men right there, flat out. Sorry guys, that's just how that works. So that's basically going to be a win on the X-Men side of things. Marvel would have to end up winning that bad boy. Sorry, guys, since that's my three-parter, what I thought of it, bam, there you have it. What I think of it, I loved him. I loved Uncanny X-Men overall. If I was to give a synopsis, it was nice. They had kind of a slow start. The first issues where they had three writers on them weren't as good as the later ones. But it was nice to see all the 90s style stuff going on, and a lot of the 90s outfits, like the blue and yellow suit on Cyclops and things like that. So the nostalgia alone kept me going. The nostalgia was completely, on the other hand, missing from Teen Titans, because the only person really who's there who anyone's ever heard of is Damian Wayne as Robin, and the second version of Wallace West, not Wally West. So it's not having that nostalgia factor in that particular way. And also, on that note, it's too bad to hear about George Perez not having any interest in doing comics anymore. Just got to put that out there as Alan Moore gone. All these people going bye-bye, man. I know the wheel's gonna keep on spinning. But anyway, if you had to choose from the two, choose X-Men. Black out.